'Twas the night before Fistmas for the great Vansar house. No ganger was stirring, not even the mouse. The tubes were unconscious, the gangers were dead, and the beastly old Fantaclaws stuck blades in their head. The gangers had walked into his slide trap, but now they lay down for an aeon's long nap. The fighters had fled, but they were too slow, for they had not spotted that which lay below. More rapid than eagles he slew those who came, and as he tore them apart, he called them by name. Die Morden, die Grendel, die Sarden and Trixen, die Big Bones, die Mulden, die Hectus and Kitson. To the dark of the tunnels, to the base of the wall, run away, run away, run away all. His hat dripped with blood, and on his head sat an oddly disturbing red and white hat. His smile was murderous, yet filled with mad glee, and all those who saw him turned tail to flee. Once all foes were beaten, he tore them apart, and admired his work as though it was art. And I heard him exclaim as he stalked out of sight, "Happy Fistmas to all, and to all a good night." Welcome to the Fluffenhammer. Roll the music.
Every man lives, not every man truly dies.
Hello, Andy.
Hello. Merry
I'm
Christmas.
I'm Adam. You're Andy. Merry Christmas. Merry, very Merry Christmas.
That sounded sinister.
He's checking the list. He's checking the list. He's going to find out who's been naughty or nice. Andy's coming to town.
I thought you were going to say BDSM Santa's coming to town.
No, it's just Andy.
Okay. Hey!
Just Andy on his way in a Ford Capri with presents for all the good little goats.
I do have a Ford. I'm not sure what kind it is off the top of my head.
I don't even know if a Ford Capri is an actual make, to be honest with you.
You know what? It sounds like it's a car.
Yeah.
I'm good enough to run with that.
A Ford Capri Sun. There we go.
Oh, even better. A delicious drink.
A delicious summery drink for these wintry times.
Love them. Capri Suns. They're great.
Before we get rolling on tonight's shenanigans, I've got two things to quickly throw out into the world. Number one, no George this week. Unfortunately, he was grabbed by the tentacles and taken down below. So hopefully, at some point, the Inquisitors will go and drag him back out again. Either that, or he'll be horribly mutated beyond any form of recognition and will return to us as a corrupted spawn of filth.
I mean, that'll probably help with his writing, I'm sure.
Well, I suppose, yeah, if he's unlocked from the restraints of being a mortal human, his writing will definitely take a little turn sideways.
Well, they always say write what you know.
True, yeah, and if what you know is the grand cosmos and all of the horrors within it, then, Wouldn't it be weird if George became some kind of like weird chaos spawn and just started writing children's tales?
I mean, what are you saying he's R.L. Stein at that point?
No, I don't mean horror ones at all. I mean, like, The Little Rabbit Who Could, something like that.
Oh, okay, you mean nice books.
Yeah. Well, this is what happens when George gets absorbed by demons. They just cancel each other out, and he becomes like the happiest man in the world who starts just saying happy, nice things to children.
To be fair as well, I was insinuating that R.L. Stein does look a bit like a Chaos Spawn.
Yeah, I mean, it comes to something when you put Jack Black on stage and it's like, oh yeah, Jack Black is R.L. Stein and looks much, much better.
Yeah, he's like an attractive R.L. Stein. Less Jack Black.
I actually quite like Jack Black. I think he's cool.
He's fine.
The second thing I need to do today is put out a public apology because Adam Gondon fucked up earlier this week.
What did he do?
So I decided I was going to merge an older YouTube channel into the Fluffenhammer just so there was a bit more stories and things for people. I thought, okay. So what I did was I got a little uploader going, and it uploaded all the videos, and it was meant to upload them all privately. And then I was going to make them public over the next sort of week or so.
Oh, okay.
It didn't do that. It dropped all 30 videos at once, publicly. And I am really sorry to everybody who had to put up with that.
Yeah, I saw randomly on my timeline for YouTube just like a wab of videos just popped up. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, it was, as I say, it was meant to put them all up privately, and then I was just going to go in, because you couldn't schedule it through the uploader, so because it was a mass uploader. So I thought, right, I'll just put them all private, not a problem, and I'll come back to this tomorrow, because I was at work at the time. So I left it, and then finished work, and checked my messages about 2 o'clock, in the morning, and I just got a load of messages going, this is ridiculous, what the hell are you doing? And I went, oh no. No. So yeah, I really just want to apologize to everyone, because that must have been infuriating for every single person.
Well, you gave them content to watch at least, I suppose, if they had nothing else to do that day.
Yeah, but 30 videos at once is ridiculous. And
it is a lot. It is a lot. Yeah,
and I felt really bad about that, and I am really sorry to everyone because, I think a lot of people just went, fuck this, and just went, no more, and unsubscribed, and I'm so sorry. Please come back, it'll never happen again. Whoops. That was Adam Gondon fucked up. So yeah. So anyhow, this afternoon I should say, we've got some stupidity ahead, haven't we, Mr. Andy?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah. So what I have here is a list of what we're going to do. I'm not going to tell you these in order. What we're going to do is one of these 6 things. We're going to maybe do something like get the questions from you guys from social media in real time.
Oh.
Yeah. We could discuss the entirety of AOS lore from start to finish.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Right. We could play a game, maybe Talisman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. But not actually record any of the footage, so you just get to hear us play Talisman. And as we talk crap for an hour or something, we could play a little RPG that I've got set up. We could run through an adventure book, or we could just sit here and talk shite with nothing else. How are we going to do this, you might ask? Well, very simply. Andy, you have a D6.
I do. Well, a virtual one.
Yeah, it's a virtual D6. If you could roll that D6, please, I will tell you what we're going to do this episode.
All right, I'm going to quick roll. Press a button to roll a single die with a specific number of sides. D6.
Yep.
1D6 equals 6.
6, right. So if we go over to here, we're going to get the questions from the audience in real time.
I will mention that a D6 is definitely a hit, and it's definitely a wound. Unless you make a saving throw, you've got some damage coming, baby.
Okay, well I've rolled a 1.
Yay!
So you have won this combat. You have won this round, my friend. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick a load of questions out into the world, and hopefully we'll start getting people answering. You're asking the people of the internet what they want. I thought you were wanting them to ask us things. Okay. Oh. No. I want them to ask us questions. And I'm going to do this now.
Do you want me to keep the roller up?
No, you can get rid of the roller now.
All right. Roller's gone.
So what have you been up to, Andy? What hobby things have you been trying to do over the last week or so?
What was I doing? I was trying to figure out why my compressor for my what's it called? My airbrush kept spitting water every now and again. Mm-hmm. And it's just because of, it's absorbing moisture in the air, and also I was usually doing it in the conservatory, which is not heated. So the condensation built up quickly. I figured out why that was happening and how to get rid of it. as best I could because you can only stop so much. So I sprayed a few little bits here and there, but not a huge amount. I haven't really had time to get any painting done, mainly because, again, I've been waiting for stuff to dry and whatnot. But I did get Diachasm through the post yesterday, which I've just sort of cracked open before we got into the podcast today. So everything's still in the shrink wrap, in the sexy shrink wrap. But you convinced me to do it. I was like, I don't know. And you were like, do it. I was like, I don't know. And you were like, do it. I did it. and then, oddly enough, you got your wife to tell me to do it as well.
I did, because I care.
Like, no, he doesn't. He wants me to spend money.
Well, yeah. But also because I care.
I thought, why not? Like, I wouldn't usually get High Elves, or Lumineth, as they're called now. And I thought it might be just a good way to get it. And I skipped on the last one as well, because I really didn't like the minis in that one either. Who was it? It was more elves. It was like wood elves, elves, and beastmen, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, and it just didn't do anything for me. This one I thought looked a little bit more interesting, and I thought both warbands were a bit more neat looking. I'm just gonna have to figure out what I want to do with them color wise, because I'm probably not gonna paint the Lumineth white. As everybody knows, it's a difficult color to paint. Right?
It is, yeah. What I find works really well is if you paint something white, then hit it with the contrast white, which I can't remember the name of. Apothecary white?
Something.
Yeah. I find that once that's dry, obviously give it a bit of a watering down with the medium. What I find is that gives it a really nice white shine. It looks like a natural white rather than just a flat white.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
And because I've done a lot of white this week, Andy.
What were you doing then, Mr. Gruff? What have you done hobby-wise, since that's pretty much my hobby time done?
I did something. So I started painting my final 3 proper trolls that I've got. So I've got 3 stone trolls, rock trolls, whatever they're called now. Gold grinder trolls. I can't remember. The blue ones, anyhow. So I was painting them, but there's a load of bits left over. And so I thought, what would be really silly? I'm going to use some of these parts and make a Christmas troll. And I did. I made a snowman body out of different clay. And then I painted over it with the snow texture paint. And then I stuck some arms and head and everything onto it. And then I gave it a little hat. Then I painted his nose red, put a little snotling on the back carrying a bauble. And I now have a Christmas troll.
Hey!
So I quite like the idea of making a load of Christmas decorations based around Age of Sigmar. So I think that's something I'm going to do for next year's Christmas.
That's cool.
To put them all up in a tree. I think that'd be quite fun.
I have just discovered that the claw of one of my dudes has been snapped off in the box.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
That's awful.
That's disappointing. Nothing can be done though. Which one is it? Oh, it's the Beastman, the sexy Slanesh Beastman dude.
Sexy Slanesh Beastman.
He's got his knee-high boots on and everything. He's got his bondage gear ready, To each their own, as they say.
Well,
hopefully I'll be able to glue that sucker back on. It looks like a fairly clean break, at least.
Mm-hmm. Oh, as long as it's a clean break, the last thing you want to do is have one of those awful breaks where it goes off at an angle and everything bends slightly.
Yeah, it's not one of them. And it looks like, because it's on the claw part, it might be thick enough to take a pin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a Nighthorn one where it's like, oh, this thing's broken. Oh, no. There is no hope now. Which is the one bad thing about the Nighthorn. If something snaps on them, you can be snookered quite quickly.
You can. Yeah, you really can. I can't remember what it was now. It was one of the Warcry warbands. But like an arm and sword had been snapped off when I got out of the box.
Oh, man.
And trying to reattach that, because it was right at the wrist of the hand.
Right.
And because of the way that the sword was, it's a really big, heavy sword. So I was trying to glue it back on, and it just would not stay on again. I had to take the entire forearm off and just kind of rebuild from scratch.
Oh, that sucks.
Just because it was the only way to get it to stay on.
Yeah, of course.
The wrist was such a small contact area.
Mm.
Oh, it's absolutely bloody infuriating.
You don't remember which one it was, though, do you?
I think it might have been the Iron Tyrants. Or whatever they're called. The the black and gold guys. Spire Tyrants.
Oh, yeah, I know the ones you mean.
I think it might have been the leader of them.
Oh, not the leader. The leader's usually the one with the best look to him, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
But I'm looking over them now. I totally forgotten I had the Blood Queen.
The Blood Queen?
Yeah, the Dark Oath female barbarian character.
Oh, yeah.
It came out with Malign Portents.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyhow, got a question for you, Andy.
Okay.
So, if you could adapt any game into a Warhammer game, so I'm assuming that means computer game, what game would you use?
A video game and pulling it into the Warhammer universe.
Yeah, well, this is from Hadgeduck. I think it says Hadgeduck. Hello, Hadgeduck. Good day. Yeah, I think it's like, what it means is, if there was a game out there that could do with like a Warhammer skin and a Warhammer story attached to it, what would you take? Like, for example, I don't know, my choice would probably be like Unreal Tournament, but make it into a Necromunda game.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've got one then.
Okay.
Monster Hunter World, and you slam that into AOS, and you put that in the, what's it called,
Gairan, yeah.
Gairan, yeah. And you
Realm
can
of
switch out
Beasts.
the main dudes with orcs, and you can have them hunt down big monsters in that place.
That would work so well with the like the Savage Orcs, the Bone Splitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hunt big things to eat their hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's
I think
a
that could
really
be
cool
fun.
one.
Yeah, and because you have your little cat friends, you replace them with like whatever goblins or Gretchen are now. Mm-hmm. Snotlings, maybe. Yeah, something like that could be quite good.
Yeah, I can see that actually. Oh man, can you imagine like PS5 just naked orc running across the tundra?
It'd be fun, yeah, because there aren't many games where you get to play as the orcs, or at least a singular orc.
No, there isn't, is there?
No.
I'm struggling to think of any, to be honest.
The only ones where you do get to play as orcs are like RTSs. Like strategy games, like big army strategy games. You don't usually get to be a non-human in a video game unless it's like Skyrim or like a make your own character kind of game.
Yeah. Oh, I've got one.
Okay.
Do you remember Overlord?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Not the anime people, for anyone wondering, the PS2 video game? Or Xbox 360?
360, yeah, Xbox 360.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
It's PS3, that's right, yeah.
So that, but you play like a hive tyrant, and you're controlling all of the other Tyranid characters. You've got like hunter killers. What the hell are they called? Termagants?
Yeah, Termagants, yeah.
My brain just went, welcome to 1990. You got Termagants and lictors and stuff like that. Yeah,
gargoyles.
Yeah. So that's what you control. You control the other little monsters.
I like the idea of that.
As you just stomp around doing damage to everything.
But this would be under the idea that the controls were good and not bad, like they were in Overlord, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were better in Overlord 2, if memory serves me right. They were. Yeah, they cleaned it up a little bit.
It still had issues, being like a third-person game, but it was a neat idea, and I think that could work quite well. I think. Could we do anything with Dark Souls? I think we could do something easily enough with Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, I mean Dark Souls, you could go down like the Mordheim route. If you wanted to keep it AOS, then you set it in the Realm of Shadow.
Okay, yeah.
And then you all the creatures there, or even the Realm of Death. Actually, I prefer the Realm of Shadow. I think you could do more with it.
Are you sure it's not just because we don't know anything about the Realm of Shadow, and it would be a good way to expand it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you could set it in the Realm of Death because you'd have like the dead things coming after you and whatnot. But I think having it in the Realm of Shadow, you could probably have it. You could have more variation rather than it just being like bony boys and zombies.
Okay.
But then again, saying that, you could do all sorts of different types of ghosts and whatnot.
Yeah,
all based around how people died and which afterlife they went to. So yeah, actually, you could do it either way.
Do you want a stupid one?
Go on.
Idea, right? We do Ghosts and Goblins from Dark Harvest.
Okay, yep. Now, Ghosts and Goblins are super Ghosts and Goblins.
It doesn't matter because both of those games are nightmarishly difficult.
That's true. Oh man, how about, right, we have Super Sigma Tetris.
Super Sigma Tetris. Is this what Sigmar's doing instead of actually getting out there and helping people?
Yeah, he's just playing Tetris all day long.
So in the background of the screen, you'd have Sigmar, and you'd have like him sitting down in a chair, and then a window, and everything outside the window is on fire.
And then the camera just pans into his little Game Boy. Do 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 do.
Do you really think he spent all that time making the Stormcast? No, he was having a holiday. He was just done. Waiting for it to blow all over.
Here's one for you.
Okay.
So, you know Monkey Island?
Yes.
Right? So, you know they remade Monkey Island about 10 years ago? Because
yeah.
the last decade doesn't really exist, and it's just like a figment of everyone's imagination. Because there is no way in hell that remake came out 10 years ago.
Whoa, did it really? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not far off. Oh, here's one for you. Here's one.
Uh-huh.
So I was talking to our mutual friend, Mr. Jai D, last night.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
And we were talking about Transformers Infestation and Transformers Hearts of Steel. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when Hearts of Steel came out?
That was a while ago. Was that 2011?
2006.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Infestation came out in 2013, I think it is. We worked out.
Oh, my God.
2012. Wow. Yeah. So it's been nearly 10 years since Steam Train Transformers fought Lovecraft monsters.
That's bizarre to think about.
I don't understand.
No.
I truly don't understand the last decade. It makes no sense to my head at all. It's like weirdly stretched out, but also very quick.
No, I can see that.
Baffles my goddamn brain.
I think a good thing about this question is you notice how we've not said let's just do Left 4 Dead, because that seems to be the main focus of what is made at the moment for Warhammer.
Yeah.
In general, like 40k and for AOS. It's like, because we got Vermintide, we got Vermintide 2, we got Dark Tide coming. It's like, we also got Deathwing, the Space Hulk. Like, stop making the same games, I'm begging you. I'm not a big fan of them.
As much as Dark Tide looks alright, and it does, it looks like a decent game, I'm just so annoyed at that name. Vermintide! Dark Tide.
I mean, it makes sense because it's made by the same people that did Vermintide, but it's like, they've done Vermintide, they've done Vermintide 2, and now they've done Dark Tide. It's like, so you've done the same game 3 times, I'd argue. It'll be a little bit different, and
of course,
it's more gun focused, but it's the same thing for the most part. You're just stretching yourself.
I just found the name really lackluster. Vermintide.
I mean, that makes sense.
Vermintide 2. I mean, why are you not going down the route of, like, Ghoulstar Tide or Heresy Tide?
Oh God, a game that. How did we not think of this, Gruff? God of War, but with Gotrek.
Perfect. Yep, I'm all up for that.
Especially with him going around killing all the gods.
And you could call it Godslayer.
Exactly.
Yep. Actually, yeah, I'm really into that as an idea. Probably not killing the gods, but going after like the 4 Chaos powers and killing like really exalted demon princes of each one.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need them actually him killing anyone significant, but you can like build up someone. It's like, I'm a really important person who Gotrek just murders.
Yeah.
While screaming.
Right. The only way I'd want that though is for the first half an hour you don't play as Gotrek, right?
Okay.
You play as a I don't know, maybe like a
You play
cultist.
as the elf lady.
No. You play as a cultist or something like that.
Oh no.
Right. And you're playing through his life as he gets everything he needs to do done, and he gets more powerful, and he heads the cult, and he starts to do like a summoning to rise a greater demon of Zeech, and then it's like press X to not die, and he's like hammering X as Gotrek just comes at you, and then the camera switches, and you get to play as Gotrek from that point onward.
That'd be fun.
Because then you get to feel really sorry for everything that gets in Gotrek's path.
All you'd hear in the distance, like when it first starts kicking off, is a Brian Blessed scream.
Gotrek's alive!
No!
The thing I hate more than cultists is elves, and the only thing I hate more than elves is trees, and the only thing I hate more than trees is boats, and the only thing I hate more than boats is elves.
It's a fair point.
It's a fair cop, Gov.
Does he hate like wood elves the most then? Since they're both elves and friends with the wood.
Yeah, I would say you're probably right there.
Yeah. I think we're actually putting too much thought into it. I think Gotrek will just hate equally, but at the time he will hate a thing more than the other things at one particular point in time, depending on what's going on.
Yeah. So we've got Tom Olish, who asks the question, which version of Warhammer Fantasy Battles is your favourite version?
I guess the version I came in with, which was, what did we decide it was? Like 3rd ed?
No, it wouldn't be 3rd. It was Bretonnians and Lizardmen, wasn't it?
Oh, so mine would be 4th then when they did the new, or the newer at the time, Realm of Chaos book. With the big skull on the front cover.
Yeah, so that would be... Hang on a sec, let me look this up.
It was when the Chaos Warriors got their first multi-part kit.
Yeah, so I want to say that is going to be 5th. Warhammer Fantasy Battles editions. Let's have a quick look-see. 6th ed was Bretonia. Yeah, Bretonia Lizardmen, so 6th. So 5th was the big box that came with High Elves and Goblins.
Okay.
So that's the question. Was it High Elves and Goblins, or was it Lizardmen and Bretonians?
I'm trying to think. I think it was probably Lizardmen and Bretonians was the later one, wasn't it?
That's came out in 96.
It's probably that one then.
Yeah, 4th came out in 92.
Oh, yeah, it's 5th edition. I'm looking at the Realm of Chaos book, and it's got 5th edition, and it's got My Lovely Skull on the front there. So, yeah.
My Lovely Skull, your new Valentine's Day song.
My lovely skull, doo boop boop boop. Your lovely skull, boop 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 boop.
It's not very full, boop 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 boop, because I took everything out of it and gave it to my love.
Yeah, because this was the time when they did the 3 Chaos Sorcerers, and there's one of them. I sent you his little pretty face, where he's wearing skin on his mask.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love this era.
Yeah, same. They had some really interesting sculpts. I mean, I love it, obviously, because I came into the hobby at that point. Mm-hmm. So, I am biased. So what can you say?
The jump that happened between 4th and 5th edition is huge.
Yeah, I mean, the introduction of the multi-parts kits on its own is a big deal.
Oh, absolutely it is. And it's one of those ones where I often feel that something's been lost along the way. Not so much nowadays, because I think Age of Sigmar is characterful as hell. We talked about our issues about it last time, and I promise you, I'm not going to say anything bad about the Seraphon in this entire episode. As much as this is a walk it in for the end of the year episode, I'm not going to fall back on that, because I think everyone's sick of me now just going, the Seraphon are,
disappointing.
Not saying anymore. I've said it. I've said my piece.
That's fair.
But there is so much character that took place in this sort of 96 to 99 edition. And I just
think it has a lot to do with the artwork as well. Like, I don't dislike the artwork now, but it doesn't have the same.
It's much of a muchness, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's difficult to tell the different artists apart nowadays. And I think that's got a big part to do with it. Everything's...
the in-house style. You have to keep to the in-house style.
Yeah, and I think that's a shame, because it means you're not getting different ideas. I mean, yes, Mark Gibbons is always going to be up there. Mark Gibbons, Wayne England, John Blanche. Yeah, having these different styles gives you a different feel and different looks to everything. When you have everybody working to the same kind of style, it just kind of gets a little... Yeah.
Bit samey.
Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, some of the stuff that's in those books is gorgeous. I've got the new White Dwarf, and they're talking about the Spider Fang, the Grimscuttle Grots, as they're called. And there's a bit of artwork about one of the spiders in that, and it is gorgeous. Just this giant behemoth of a spider. It is unsettling, and I love that art to bits.
I was always a big fan of just the art covers on each of the new boxes as well.
Yeah.
There's something about that style, like the 80s to 90s art style of like fantasy depictions of fighting and of war. It just really appeals to me.
It's really colourful and kinetic, Yeah. There's tons of movement and texture in there.
Yeah. And it's cartoony, but not like too cartoony in a way as well.
There's a stylization, isn't there, that's taking place? Which
I think the Bard's actually talked about this when he's talked about artwork and stuff like this, when he's been on talking about Conan statues and things like that, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's the Red Sonja one, isn't it, that
he
talked about? Yeah. Oh god, that video is amazing.
Yeah, it summarizes a lot of what I like about the art style of this era here perfectly.
Yeah, there's I mean, I'm looking at this little dude here, and everything about him is just cool.
Yeah, definitely.
He's all chunky. He's got big hands. Love it. I remember when I had come out of wargaming entirely, and my brother had stayed into it, and I saw some of the stuff that came out in the mid 2000s, maybe late 2000s, and I looked at it going, why are they smaller? Why are the miniatures so small now?
Are you sure you weren't just looking at like Titanic as so epic?
No, what it is, it's not that they're smaller; it's that they're in human scale. Which you look back at some of the stuff that was taking place in these editions, these late 90s editions, and they're not human scale. They are stylized. Yeah, things have got a weird heft to them.
Yeah.
And that was the weird thing to me. It's like, hang on, why? Also, the fact they'd moved over to digital sculpting by that point, and let's call a spade. The early digital sculpting that Games Workshop did isn't great.
I mean, let's not even talk about the Finecast era.
No, let's not, because Finecast
that was a mistake that nobody enjoys. I wasn't even in the hobby at that point, but I've seen Finecast stuff, and it's oh no, stop. It was early days, you know. It was much better when they just went, Finecast needs to go away and let's just make plastic, because obviously things look a lot better now than they did in the Finecast era.
Yeah, absolutely. They really do. Going to the question came in. This is from Tom Moon, and he asks, out of all the books that you've read, which is the one that sticks in your mind the most?
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to quickly... Oh my god, Adam, do you remember this template? Here we go. Do you remember this from 5th edition? I remember this. What is it?
It's a falling over giant.
Yes.
He's all felled over. And
yes.
They've got all gullible. I like the little legs sticking out the top.
I love it. There's little legs sticking out the top of him. There's a hand sticking out from underneath his bottom. And there's a spear underneath one knee and a sword underneath another.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that's so cool.
I'm sorry, I saw that template card and it's just like, he has to see.
Joe, right, before we get back into this question, do you know what my favourite art is from any cover?
Okay, which one?
It's the Battle Magic box set.
Battle Magic. There were a few different Battle Magics. Which
there
one?
were, yeah. Right, this is the one.
I remember 5th edition Magic, which was really cool with the two, the Chaos Sorcerer and the Elf Sorcerer. Not that one. Oh, you sent it to me. Let's have a look. Oh wow, that one. I haven't seen this one. I don't think. No, this is new to me. So it's really cool.
A fire wizard fighting what is it's actually like an electric wizard, but because you got that glorious warm red against that really cold blue. I love it, and the highlights on the skin, and yeah, it is one of my favorite bits of art that Games Workshop ever did. But yeah, the one that you're talking about, the High Elf Sorcerer versus the Chaos Sorcerer, that is another one. It runs across the same kind of ideas, but it's not as contrasted.
Yeah, it's a different idea. They haven't really split it in half. I think the color placement on the one that you've done is nicer, or it's like more thought out. I think it's better as like a piece of art. I don't think it's as good as an eye-catching bit of box art because there's maybe a bit too much cool blue in there.
Yeah. It's like
but it is a really good piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that bit of art. Oh, look at it! Just look at it!
It's so good. Again, you could also throw out there, why are there two human sorcerers fighting each other? Why didn't you switch one of them out for a different kind? But it's still good.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's I'm going to say that it's because the red one is a heretic, and he has decided to join a fire demon. He has decided to join Hashut, and he's going to become a chaos dwarf.
See, for me, whenever I think of like Empire magicians, Bright Wizard is always the first one that comes to mind. Always.
Yeah.
It's always the Bright Wizard first, and then it's the one with the bald cap on his head.
Yeah,
has the big high collar.
Yeah,
and like the chin beard. You know the one I'm talking about. But I can't remember what magic he usually goes with off the top of my head.
I would say he was Amethyst, wasn't he?
No, because when I think of an Amber Wizard who has usually like the Lore of Beasts, they're usually the
No, an Amber. The Amethyst.
Oh no, I don't. Well, which one's the Amethyst one?
I think we're going back here. We're going into.
That might be before my time then.
Yeah, it's like crystally, chemically wizard.
The Law of Metal kind of thing.
Yeah.
See, I think of Balthazar Gelt at that point.
Yeah.
That's because of Total War.
Yeah.
Balthazar Gelt! Money! But whenever I think Amber Wizard, I think of Olaf. Was his name Olaf from Shadow of the Horned Rat?
I think so, yeah.
Hello there.
What the hell is this? Oh,
What have you found?
Do you want to see something terrible?
Yes, always.
All right, try to describe to me what it is that you see here.
Okay. Let's pull out my thesaurus. Let's Simon Furman this up, shall we?
It's not a vast predatory bird. It's all right. Because it's taking its time to upload.
Isn't it always the way?
There we go.
Oh no, what's happened here?
What is that?
What is this? Okay, so is this this can't be official.
It cannot be official. I'm trying to work it out. It just says here, Warhammer Arcane Magic.
Yeah. And then it's got really bad CGI model of I guess a high elf, but the head's like got big head mode on.
Yeah.
And it's got weird like shadows underneath the fingers on its left-hand side.
Oh no.
Which never happened anywhere else on the model.
So this is a turn-based tactical digital board game.
Okay.
Made by the independent Norwegian developer Turbo Tape Games.
Okay.
It just says here, Warhammer Arcade Magic free download full PC game setup in a single direct link for Windows. It is an awesome strategy game.
I might have to press X for doubt on that.
Yeah, that.
I might have to.
Yeah, I'm not going to send you the link to the site because the site is a little bit concerning. So I'm going to just back away from that. Just back away. Anyway, Tom Moon.
Mom's in your area. No.
Tom Moon asks about your favourite book. So I don't know if he means novel or if he means like battle tomes and codexes. So shall we do one of each?
Yeah, why not? Hell yeah.
All right. So, Andy, your favourite codex or battle tome or Warhammer Armies?
Well, technically, I've already mentioned my favorite armies book, which was the 5th edition Realm of Chaos.
Yes.
That was again, I am very nostalgic and biased because it was my first book.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, it was, at the time, one of the bigger ones, having a really high page count, so there was a lot of stuff in there. Had amazing artwork. It had a really, at the time, really dynamic and interesting models.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a lot of interesting lore and stuff like that in it as well. Because I wasn't a big reader. I'm still not a big reader. But I remember having this book in middle school, and during break times would pull it out and just have a quick read through parts of it sometimes. And I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good answer, actually, yeah.
What about yourself, then?
Oh, God, I'm yeah. How do I even pick? 4th Ed, Orcs and Goblins.
Okay. Why 4th Ed, Orcs and Goblins?
Because it's really anarchic. It's, within all the history, which is all, as these things are always done, they're kind of done by the point of the Empire, as if it's a paper being written by somebody human, which I always think is a shame, because I always wanted to see an Orcs and Goblins book that was done for Orcs by Orcs. Yeah, all the background is just like, we're the best crumper.
It'd have to be written by a goblin, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Hang on, is 4th edition the one where they're on the ball boys and they're rushing towards the camera? Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
It's everything in there it's just wonderful. It's so silly at times. Yeah, they don't ever back away from how bloody terrifying orcs actually are. But it's got tons of fun. I mean, you got like the old Doom Divers in there, which is just an elastic band ripped around a little two-wheeled fork. It's wonderful. I never really liked when Doom Divers became full-blown catapults. It just seemed a bit too thought out.
Technological?
Yeah, it's just too thought out. The idea of this thing, which is just hook on fire, that's amazing. And then you got the spider riders and all that type of thing. Yeah, the Orcs and Goblins really exploded with 4th Ed.
Also, do not forget, best trolls.
Oh, yeah.
Best trolls of the time.
Oh, God, those trolls are amazing.
Yeah.
Metal as well.
unfortunately, in some ways. I think like the trolls that you were painting up recently, they're nice.
Yeah.
But they're muted down. They're not as exaggerated as these ones were.
Yeah. I quite like the grumpy old man look of the old stone trolls.
You know, I always associated them more with the traditional kind of trolls that you could get. You know, the statues with the fuzzy hair.
Oh yeah.
They always reminded me of like more exaggerated versions of those things. Like maybe the idea was based off of the original concept of a troll, which was that, and then made more into this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's the bellies, isn't it?
That too, yeah. They got little, like you say, little old man tummies.
Mm-hmm.
Let themselves go just a little bit.
So you know
yeah, they got really spindly limbs.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to mess with them.
I really want to get some old metal trolls now and just give them hair.
I wonder if you could, if there are people out there who 3D print them.
Probably.
That might be an idea to see if you can get them down that route. Might be cheaper. It might be more expensive. I don't know.
I'd have to do some research to find out.
Yeah. More trolls, though.
Yeah.
Because you said you're enjoying your trolls.
I love them. I think it's because they're big. They're big and
Mm.
there's loads of character and you can do quite a lot with them, but they're not overly designed. You know, there isn't a huge amount of complex, tiny, fiddly things that you have to sort out.
And there's not 50 of them to make a one regiment.
Absolutely.
Or one unit, yeah.
Yeah, the most you'll ever need is like 9. Yeah, it's... and you get 3 in a box, and you get loads of stuff. I mean, I really want to do stuff like make chaos trolls and try and have a go at making a troll king at some point.
If you ever need like spare chaos bits, I've got loads of like tentacles and stuff from the 40k stuff. If you need some of them,
I might take you up on that at some point, actually. Yes.
I've got lots of Tyrannid parts as well, and you can probably slap those on as well.
You probably could actually. It makes some really interesting 4-armed monstrosities out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love trolls, man.
They're cool. Trolls are cool.
Troggoths are awesome. Also, it means I can just run up to Abby and just go, Troll! And then run away again.
I don't know why. I thought you'd run up to a scream troll, pick her up, and throw her out a window. As is the way of screaming troll.
It's alright, she's not Christian, so I don't...
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's fine. Yeah. They won't be able to smell her as well. I like that movie. Troll Hunter was a fun movie.
Troll Hunter's great.
It's one of the best found footage movies that they've done.
One of the best or the best?
I'd say one of the best because I think there are some other really good ones out there as well.
What other ones would you say are worth watching?
The Blair Witch, technically.
Yep.
That's really good.
Absolutely.
I don't like it, but people say that Cloverfield's good.
I'm not a fan of Cloverfield.
I would disagree with them, but a lot of people like Cloverfield. What's the other? There's another pretty good one. Oh, Record, REC. That one's
yeah,
good.
Rec. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, not the American redo, the proper
Spanish
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any more off the top of my head that I can remember?
The first Hell House.
Oh yeah. Some of the Hell Houses, I'd say, like 1 is good, 2 is okay, and then 3 is a bit on the wobbly side.
3 is a fucking confusing mess of. Is that
the
Archangel game? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I say wobbly, because it gets a little bit on the what's happening kind of side.
Yeah, I really like the first one. I think the second one, the first half of the second one's great, but it goes off the reservation real fast when it tries to make an epic story out of it.
They had you could tell that they had an interesting idea of what they wanted to do, but I don't think they had enough. It was like they had the concept A done, and they had like an ending, but they didn't know how to get to the ending and fill it and make it seem like it made any sense.
I think the problem was that they moved the story from the background into the foreground.
Yeah.
When it was in the background, and you could kind of like look at it and try to work it out yourself, it was really cool. But when you had the ghost of the hotel owner wandering around going, "Here is my evil plan, lake of fire, lake of fire, lake of fire," blah, 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 blah. You just, for God's sakes, really?
Yeah, no, I would agree there.
Come on.
It got silly very quickly.
Yeah, which is a shame because, as I say, the first half of that film is wonderful with all the different found footage all cut together.
Yeah,
and it's just all like shit happening to different people. That is really cool. I like that. It's different. There's also one actually called Found Footage, which if you haven't seen, I recommend. Because it's a group of people who make a found footage film about making a found footage film.
Oh, okay.
So it's proper like it knows exactly what it's doing and it knows the tropes.
Ah, have you seen one called Creep from 2014 or 15?
I haven't.
That one's quite good. It's I don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah.
There are two films called Creep. There's one which is a found footage movie, and then there's Creep, which is the one with the lady stuck in the London Underground, which is also quite an interesting little horror film. But yeah, the movie Creep from 2014, a guy gets a cameraman to come over and film his life, and he starts explaining to him that he was a mass murderer or mass killer. And it's the relationship that develops between the two of them and things that happen between the two of them.
That's cool. Okay.
It's interesting. At the very least, if you don't want to watch the entire thing, you could watch like a run through of the movie, or watch a trailer, I suppose, and see if it grabs you.
Yeah,
I think that one's quite good. It's an interesting idea for a horror. It's not like, it never feels like it goes over the top.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they do. Like I can tell you this, even though it's a spoiler. There's no like demon summoning or anything like that. Last Exorcism of
Exorcism. Yeah, the Last
Emily
Exorcism.
Rose.
No, it's just the Last Exorcism.
Is it just that one?
Yeah, the Last Exorcism of Emily Rose is a different film entirely.
Okay.
The Last Exorcism is wonderful. I really
like
film.
that one.
Yeah,
It's a great one.
as above, so below. That's another good one.
It's interesting. I don't think it's perfect, but they have some really interesting ideas that they try and replicate with the whole going underground and through the what is it, Dante Inferno levels of hell.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, not like done on a low budget, but done fairly interesting way.
There's a lot that they managed to achieve on that low budget that I think is really impressive.
Agreed. So there you go. We've already figured out some decent ones there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But to
is
go
Troll
back,
Hunter the best? Maybe.
Yeah, I think,
maybe.
I think Troll Hunter's up there with. I mean, the first Blair Witch it's an incredible experience.
Yeah, it's such an interesting experiment that paid off, and that could have gone so poorly.
Yeah, absolutely, it could have. Because I remember, I kind of got sick of it for a while, and then me and Abby watched
the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a fun movie to watch.
No, I went to the pictures 3 times to see it. I did it to myself.
Oh my god!
Absolutely did it to myself. But I hadn't seen it for about 10 years, so we had to go watching it, and we actually, it affected us quite a lot. I'm getting real creeped out.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I totally forgot about the entire, I kicked the map into the river. So when that happened, it was like, you son of a bitch.
Yep. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? But no, it's good. It's just not. It is drawn out.
Yeah.
It's a long experience. Like I say, it's not something I don't think I could ever watch again. I think the one watch was good enough.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's worth watching though, especially on the technical level and figuring out how they did everything.
Yeah,
I think that's really interesting.
Dropped some people in the woods and it scared the shit out of them for a week.
Yeah, as the film crew, just don't tell them what's going on.
Yeah,
see what happens. And again, like I say, could have easily blown up in their face.
Absolutely,
easily.
That could have gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Totally.
So on top of that, then he also
novels.
Novels. So do you want to break this down into like a 40k and an AOS or 40k in fantasy? Should we do it that way?
Okay, yeah.
Because I think it's difficult to put the fantasy, especially the AOS novels, against the 40k ones because they're such different experiences in a lot of ways. I mean, there's like the fighting porn type books that you get in both. But especially nowadays, what a 40k book is and isn't is a very different experience to what an AOS book is and isn't. So I think
there's also a lot more 40k books than there are AOS ones, unfortunately.
There is, yeah. I think it's worth trying to sort of say that even if you do it like that, you could break it down even further into like the different eras of Games Workshop, because what was a Warhammer Fantasy Battle novel in 1990 is a very different experience to what a Warhammer Fantasy Battle novel is in 2005.
Yeah, totally.
Massive differences. Do you want me to go first?
I've got some if you like.
All right, go.
What do you want me to do? Do you want fantasy-ish, AOS-y, or 40k?
Should we do 40k first?
Okay.
Get the 40k out of the way.
Legion.
God, let's get it done.
Black Legion.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good
I love
one.
it. It's really good. It's smartly written. It fills in some interesting stuff. Introduces characters I didn't know about, like Iskandar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you've also got a nice look at Abaddon as well, and what's happening in the Eye of Terror after the Horus Heresy kind of blows up in the face.
Yeah. And it's got some wonderful set pieces as well. I mean, there's that one set piece, that one set piece where you just sit there going, how has this never been done before?
Totally. Yeah, 100%. The only bad thing about it is, I'd say number 2, Black Legion, was it called? What was the second one?
I can't remember. Hang on a second.
Oh, it was called. The first one was called Talon of Horus.
Yeah.
The second one was called Black Legion. That's right. So I like Talon of Horus.
Yes.
That's the one I like more. Because Black Legion, although it's good, that one feels more like I want the rest of the books to kind of complement it. Mm-hmm. Where I think Talon of Horus stands on its own a bit more.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. Yeah, I'm just looking at them now. Wasn't there meant to be a third one of these happening?
Well, I'm sure it is happening. Yeah. It's just when Aaron Dembski-Bowden has time to do it, and the other 50 novels, I'm sure he's having to write as well.
Yeah, true enough, yeah. My favourite 40... You know what? I'm going to go right the way back. I'm going to say Deathwing.
Oh, you do love Deathwing.
Deathwing.
You do love that one.
I think if I'd never read Deathwing, I probably wouldn't have got into wargaming and Games Workshop. I think it probably would have been something that I'd come out of quite early on.
Yeah,
because Deathwing is such a monumental part of my growing up. Deathwing, Pratchett, and stuff like that. The books that I read again and again and again, especially the actual short story Deathwing. It is it's such an incredible piece of work for the time. When you're 12 years old and you're coming out of reading Famous Five, and then you just read Deathwing. It's like, fucking hell. Yeah, that it sticks with me really strongly, and I think that's going to be one I'll go for. Is it a very simple collection of short stories? Yes, it is. But it's got a real 80s sci-fi feel to it still. Yeah, it doesn't have that super clean cut sci-fi that came in during the 90s.
And it affected you a lot, clearly, as well, if it's the thing that really helped cement you into the fandom.
Oh, absolutely. Things like... If you look at all the stuff that's in there, you've got Squats, you've got Gene Stealer cults, you've got the Terminators. These are all things that, if you listen to this show on a regular basis, this is all stuff I talk about on a regular basis. It's still kind of rattling around in my brain now, even though a lot of the time I don't quite remember it. A lot of the stories are based around the average people in 40k, the navigators, the astropaths, all those type of people. And how many times have I said I want to see more stuff about them?
Yeah, it's true.
It's I think it's a big concrete foundation to what my relationship with the hobby has become, or even has been throughout. I think it's a very interesting thing to look at it. And a bit of self-examination taking place, but yeah, I'm going to go for Deathwing. Deathwing, I think, is wonderful. There are better books, yes. I mean, The Last Heretic is a better book. It is a better story. It does loads of stuff. The first 2 Horus Heresy books by themselves are masterpieces compared to what Deathwing is on a technical level. The Black Legion books. Not so much the Night Lord books. I struggled with the Night Lord books, to be honest with you.
The newer ones, the Dembski-Bowden ones.
Yeah, it's weird. I really couldn't get my head into them. I don't know.
Is it because it's the Night Lords?
I don't know. I'm interested in them, but there's something about it which I find really... I don't know. There's times where I've had to stop it and go back and start again because I just don't know where I'm at. So my attention just wanders with it. It's an odd one. Really odd. But yeah, there's tons of better books out there, but I think that having the sheer weirdness of Deathwing kind of wins out. Either that or the Jacques Draco books, because fucking hell, those things are strange. Real weird. So fantasy, what would be your answer there?
Well, I've got 2 I could go with. One which I'm not finished with, which is Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I haven't finished that yet, but that's really good.
Eureka, daughter of my heart.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good.
I'm wondering if he'll see her again and if she'll be old, like if there'll be some time dilation by the time they get out.
I will tell you. It's
going to be interesting to see.
Nothing about what's going to happen with Ulrika.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. I appreciate that. But no, that's a great book. It's so far. I haven't finished it yet, but it is good.
Yeah, where are you up to?
Let's see. I think have it done any more since then? I think the last point I remember was they were sat down with the dwarf at the table once they'd got the story straightened out with the king, and they'd been Felix had given put some cheese and jerky on the table, and since they were just used to eating these weird blind fish, they were scoffing it down.
Yeah. Okay, so
I think I did a bit more, but I can't remember.
So you're about 3/4 of the way through then, roughly.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I think Gotrek said he wants to fight the Terror.
Yeah.
I forgot to say, don't fight the Terror.
Do you know?
It's like, no, I've got to.
Do you know what the Terror is yet?
No, they haven't said what it is. They said, we cannot explain what the Terror is.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Oh, it's going to get good. Yeah.
I kind of wish it was just Thankful.
It's not. I'm afraid it's not.
No.
Do you like Thankwell's like constant chasing?
Yeah. He keeps complaining that his slaves aren't going fast enough.
Yeah.
And poor Lurk seems to have devolved, been chaos spawned up.
Do you remember?
The last time we heard from him was he was like going through the hallways of the airship looking for dwarf flesh.
Yes.
I was like, all right.
Do you remember ages ago when we did the Skaven Slayer one? I just went, I want to tell you what happens to Lurk, but I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This is the beginning of Lurk.
The beginning of Lurk.
Where Lurk goes from this point on is so good. Oh, there's a single line, and when we get there in, is it Beast Slayer? I can't remember what the next one is after Demon Slayer. Dragon Slayer. When we get to the next one, when we get to Dragon Slayer, there's a single line, and it's perfect, and I adore it, and we'll get to that much later on. So
the other one I would pick is Dark Harvest.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark Harvest is a freaking masterpiece in my eyes.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's
really good.
It's creepy as shit.
Yeah, it's got some really nice moments in there. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be harder to figure out what yours is because I have an idea what one of yours could be.
All right, okay.
I think one of yours could be Drachenfels.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean that's a fairly safe bet, I would say.
Yeah, you're absolutely bang on the money there because
I thought so.
Drachenfels is a freaking glorious experience. But then not just Drachenfels. I think the Genevieve trilogy, for want of a better term, is just wonderful all the way through. So that Silver Nails and Genevieve Undead, those three books are absolutely wonderful. I mean, Genevieve Undead has a mini sequel to Drachenfels in it, where Drachenfels' mask, one of his masks has a little bit of sentience, and it takes people over, and burns them out, just to get closer and closer to Genevieve and Setlek. And it's fantastic. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, he's not quite dead. And then you got Genevieve hunting a unicorn. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. Everything about those goddamn books are amazing. However, for the AOS one, I'm going to go for City of Secrets because City of Secrets was the first AOS book that really grabbed my attention. I'd read Pestilence and the the Stormcast ones that happened at the beginning.
Oh yeah. I know the ones like Galmaraz.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
And they were all right. They were
dry.
Yeah, but then you get City of Secrets, and it's just like, well, here's all of the ideas. Oh,
yeah,
fantastic. Let's go.
Yeah, you've said all these good things about it, and they've never put it on audiobook.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Maybe I should record it and send it to them and just say, here you go.
Just put it out. Come on, baby.
You don't even have to pay me for it. Just get this damn thing out. And do it for free. Also pay me. But yeah, I think that would be my two choices because, yeah, I think Drachenfels is a wonderful experience, and I think everyone should read it, even though the world it paints is a far cry from what Warhammer Fantasy Battle ended up being.
Yeah.
The old world was
Even though the audiobook disappointed you drastically.
It did. It's really flat. It's a shame because I think the I can't remember her name now, but there was a lady that did a Necromunda book, and her voice would have been perfect. I wish they'd got her.
Ah, okay.
Like legitimately, mwah, yeah, that's it. That's what we wanted from Drakenfels. She does horror really well. Whilst the one we got, it was a little. It sounded like she was struggling to get through a lot of the words and the concepts.
Well, that person who's done those audiobooks, you haven't liked any of the ones that she's done.
No, I haven't. As a narrator, not really a fan. Not to piss on her parade or anything like that. Yeah, she's a very talented voice artist, but something about it didn't work for me with that voice with those words. It's just a bit of a mismatch, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because they do have some really talented voice work. And I totally agree, it should be a woman doing it because it's all from the point of Genevieve. So, yeah, absolutely, it should be a woman doing it. That's it
makes sense.
I'm not going to ever argue with that, but there's a series of books called the Lockwood books. Lockwood Incorporated, that's it. And the narrator that does the second and third books would have been absolutely perfect. And if you haven't heard of Lockwood, go and get Lockwood, because Lockwood's amazing. They're young adult, but it's set in a world where there's a pandemic of ghosts.
Okay.
They're really cool, like really, really cool. The main character is a lass from your neck of the woods.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
From County Durham. So. Which is really cool because she's called, it's something Carlisle. Begins with a B. Beverly Carlisle? I can't remember.
Are you saying she's our child?
Yes. When me and you finally get married, Andy, this will be the child that we have.
Excellent. It's about time. You'll make an honest woman of me one day, I'm sure.
But this,
or vice versa.
But this is not that day.
Not this day. No.
Right. Next question is from Mr. Pot. And he says, favorite non-GW wargaming system?
I don't have one. I have not really expanded outside of GW. I think GW is enough of a money hole for me.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You know?
I think it's a terrifying prospect when you think, yeah, I really like this entire miniatures thing. Oh God, there's more than just one game.
I mean, you've gone down that hole because you wanted to make some skeletons for another gaming system, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Frostgrave every now and again. I think Frostgrave's a really cool little system. One of the things I like about it is that there's no races or anything like that. It's here are the rules for making your warband. Whatever you want, go for it. So like you got different types of wizard, and then that kind of tells you what type of warriors you're going to have. But it doesn't give you a race or anything like that. It's just here is spearmen or crossbowmen or that type of thing. So you can kind of run whatever you wish.
Right.
I quite like that because it means you can have like a snowman wargaming force and things like that.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Well, I intend to make like kind of for a snowman for it, and I want to try and have a go at some point make like a hedgehog barbarians for it and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Like slain type barbarians. That I really like Frostgrave. I think Frostgrave's great. Gaslands is another good one. I like Gaslands. It's Dark Future, the old GW car racing game.
No, I wasn't aware of that one.
It's old now, like it's really old. But yeah, it's like Mad Max basically. You're playing a Mad Max style car racing and shooting game. There's a lot you can do with that, and there is a part of me that is very tempted to scale it down and use micro machines.
Oh, okay.
Because you could get really interesting tables out of that kind of scale, I think.
Right.
So I don't know how to do it yet for movement and whatnot, but I think that would be a really cool way of doing it. Having because if you have like a giant table with micro machines on it, you could do so much scenery. Yeah, loads of fun. Although you probably have to glue the wheels, or else they'll just be rolling around all over the place.
Are they on bases? Because if you're just putting them on a base, then you should be okay. Or are they just kind of free?
Well,
no bases?
the idea is that you use Hot Wheels cars, and then
but I mean, why would you stick these Hot Wheels cars on bases?
no.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, you just take like Hot Wheels scale cars and just like dinge them up and add guns and stuff to them.
That could be fun in itself.
It is. It's tons of fun. Loads and loads of fun. I really like Gaslands. What else have I played? I can't stand Privateer Press. I'll just put that out there. War Machine and Hordes are not great. I'm sorry. Nah, they were
As games or what?
as the worlds they've made are pretty cool. I quite like the worlds they make, but I mean, first and second Ed's War Machine were good. Well, first one was good, second one was decent. Hordes was decent. I quite like the idea that Hordes and War Machine can cross over. That was quite a cool idea. So you could take like a Horde army and put it up against like the more steampunky War Machine stuff.
Right.
I thought that was a really cool suggestion you could do. But then they kind of just went down this path of this is unplayable.
Oh.
I hate it.
So the rules just got really bad.
Yeah, everything got bad. I don't know what it was. I don't like the Privateer Press mindset either. There's a certain this ain't your daddy's war game type mentality to them, which I really can't get away with.
Right.
Yeah, they've got this entire page 4 thing, which annoyed the shit out of me. Just not for me. Freebooters, that's a really good one. I like Freebooters, which is a like a pirate skirmish game. I like skirmish games a lot. I like playing.
Oh, they're quick to play compared to everything
Yeah,
else, right?
and you get more narrative out of them, which I think is the main thing. I'm just trying to think of any others.
I've got one you can pick because it's technically not GW anymore.
Yeah.
Hero Quest.
Oh, Hero Quest, the greatest game ever made. Yeah.
It's not out yet, but it's coming, and it's technically not GW. I don't think.
If you told me, even last year, that a brand new Hero Quest would come out and I wouldn't have pre-ordered it, I wouldn't have believed you.
Well, they've not made it the easiest thing to pre-order.
No.
Or they didn't.
Even when Zafi got hold of it and they said you can pre-order through us, I just looked at it and went, you know what? Nah.
Do you think it was the bad kind of stuff that they began with that kind of made you not want to?
At that
point?
I think that soured me towards it a bit.
Yeah.
I think the price, although understandable because you get a lot, the price really pushed me out.
It's rough.
Yeah, because that was a lot of money to spend at once.
Yeah.
A lot of money to spend at once. And JoJo takes up most of my money now. So
Yeah.
but I think one of the things that really stuck out to me was it didn't feel like Hero Quest. Yeah.
You mean visually?
Yeah, because they'd gone down that more D&D style for everything, which is annoying because all the stuff in Hero Quest doesn't look like modern day Games Workshop. You could have done something that tied back into that a bit better, but they decided to try and make it look like D&D. So,
do you think that was just a safety thing to try and get the D&D people in there as well?
I think that's probably a part of it, but I think it's because Hasbro owns D&D now.
Of course they do. Oh my god, yeah, I'm stupid.
No, well, you kind of have to know that to make that leap, don't you?
Well, they own Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah,
don't they?
exactly.
So, yeah, they subsequently owned D&D.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that was kind of one of the big things with me. I mean, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. It does look great. It just isn't what I would have liked.
Yeah.
And because instead of spending the next 3 years of my life complaining that I bought it, I just decided to go, nah, it's all right, and continue with trying to build up my actual Hero Quest.
Hey, it's still a goal.
It is, yeah. All I need now really is against the Ogre
The super
Horde,
expensive stuff.
yeah, and Wizards of Morcar. That's literally it. I've got everything else now for Hero Quest.
And of course, those are super easy to get. So.
Yeah.
And you do still have a child that you need to pay for.
Yeah. Well, if I win the lottery, I'll just go out and buy them outright.
Your child of the games.
Yeah, if JoJo wins the lottery.
No, if you win the lottery, you'll pay him off. There you go.
Yeah, here's the rest of your money for the rest of your life. Now I'm off to buy some Hero Quest. So I would love to have a full Hero Quest collection for when he gets to about 8. 8 or 9. Then we can play Hero Quest together, father and son.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he gets to about 10 and say, well then, son, it's time to start playing war games.
We've got to make you into a man now. Time to play some big boy games.
Yes, now let's put away the Monopoly. And this is more time. So,
Here is an armies book. Now go make an army list and come back to me when you're done. Or no sweeties for tonight.
Are you kidding me? I wouldn't do that to him. I would quite happily spend an entire Saturday night with him, sitting poring over books, making an army list with him. That sounds like bliss to me. That sounds like the best night ever.
I want to go to bed, Dad. No, we're staying up until this is perfect.
Until we've got a 5,000 point Tyranid army sorted.
Needs to be themed as well. You need to think of a theme. It can't just be normal Tyranids. That's lame.
This is half the fun. I want to sleep. I've been awake for 2 days.
It's 3 a.m. Please, Daddy, no more.
Let me die. Right, moving on. We've got 2 more questions coming through.
Oh.
For God's sake. Graham Fisher asks, if you had to choose between a thumb the size of a large gherkin or a toe the size of a corn on the cob, what would you choose and why? Merry Christmas and all that.
I think for the... Which hand would it have to be on? Is it on both hands? Is it only on one?
I'm going to say it's just on one hand. And
Can I choose which hand it's on?
No, you can't. 1 to 3, it's your left hand. 4 to 6, it's your right.
Okay.
5, it's on your right hand.
What's that, sorry?
It's on your right hand. I rolled for you.
Damn, so that's my right in the hand. I think I'd still go with it being on my hand. Mainly because, like, if you have a toe gherkin sized, right? Mm-hmm. How many shoes are gonna fit you?
That's a good point. You'd have to buy clown shoes.
Exactly, and I don't think they're readily available. And even then, it would only your toe would have to stretch to the end and hold the rest of your foot in place. Otherwise, those shoes are gonna rub up and down on the back of your heel.
Yeah,
and you need shoes to get around.
You do. Although, saying that, if you didn't wear shoes your entire life, you'd have a really calloused foot, and so you'd be alright.
Oh, God. It'd be a nightmare.
That'd be fine.
You could stand on glass, and it would just not hurt. The glass would break.
You get to call yourself Rockfoot.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I'd go for the hand, because you could... At some point, you could force yourself to write with the wrong hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose. What would I pick? Oh, hang on. You can get mini corn of the cobs. I'm going to pick the foot. Because then I would have all of my toes be that size. Because that wouldn't be a huge difference with my giant feet. So, yeah. That's my answer.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, cool. Would they just be the size of those things? Or would they actually be those things?
It just says the size.
Okay, good, because I don't want a gherkin on my foot or my hand. I don't like gherkins. They're gross.
What if you woke up tomorrow morning and your entire hand was just slowly turning to fruit and veg?
I would have to go to the doctor and then cut off said hand, probably, and hopefully it would stop the spread.
You go to the doctor, why? Why?
No, you go to the doctor, look at him, and then just cut it off in front of him slowly.
Oh, jeez.
And they're like, but I could have helped you. It's like, no. You're just going to watch me do this?
I'm going to move on really quickly. Uncle Nurgling says, less of a question and more of a statement. Games need more Michael Ironside in them.
That is a fair statement.
I think so. Which I'm going to then take and run into this question. If there was a Warhammer Fantasy Battle movie, or an AOS movie, or a 40k movie, the choice is yours. Who do you want Michael Ironside to play?
Does he have to be a named character? I don't think that would be a good idea. Because Michael Ironside is Michael Ironside, and when you see him, you're like, oh, that's Michael Ironside.
All right, then. So would you want Michael Ironside
Unless it was animated. If it was an animated thing, then that's easy to do.
Okay, it's an animated... Oh, hang on. No, right. Okay, I've got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Right, number 1 is there is an animated movie based in... whichever system of your choice. Necromunda, AOS, Fantasy Battle, or 40k. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we'll answer that one first. what would you want? Who would you want him to play? What would you want him to play? Do you want him to be an Imperial Guardsman? Do you want him to be an Orc? What do you want Michael Ironside to be in this animated movie?
The easy answer is a commissar.
Okay.
Mainly because I just think of him as dude from Starship Troopers.
Okay.
You know, that's the easy answer.
Yeah.
You could do him if you wanted as an Inquisitor as well. I think he'd actually be quite a good Inquisitor.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd put him more on the extreme Inquisitor side. He'd be very much into nuking planets, I feel.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Would you call him Commissar Ironside?
That's a good name. That's a good name. Mainly because he's got a really authoritative voice.
Yeah,
There's a lot of power behind his voice. So he like, for instance, he couldn't be an Eldari.
No. That'd be weird.
That would be weird.
Couldn't be Tau.
That would be very weird. No.
Fucking Fire Warrior.
The best video game ever.
Fuck that game.
It was pretty bad.
Brian Blessed shouldn't be a Tau. It's stupid. just fucking stupid, you guys. All right, the second part of this question.
Uh-huh.
It's a hypothetical alternate reality question, Andy.
Oh, no. Okay, right.
So let's go through the mists of time. The year is 1995.
Oh, my God.
Hollywood has just made a Warhammer 40,000 movie.
Okay.
Who is starring in this film?
Who was big at the time in 1995? And how much of a budget does this movie have?
This is a big budget Hollywood movie.
Oh my god, this is a theoretical world that would never exist.
It is really not.
Who would
I'm going for Christophe Lambert as Sanguinius.
Oh my god, that's not terrible.
It's very 90s though, isn't it?
It is very 90s.
Christophe Lambert as Sanguinius, and you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger as Horus.
That's an interesting choice. That's an interesting choice. Could we have Sylvester Stallone as Logar?
Yeah, yes, we can. Bruce Willis is Angron.
Oh yeah, why not?
There we go.
I don't think Bruce Willis could be that angry.
No.
Actually, no, 1995, he still kind of cared about making movies.
Yeah.
He wasn't dead inside at that point.
Die Hard 3 hadn't happened yet, which was like the cut-off point, I think.
Yeah, he's still okay in that, but that's when he started to not care anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he never cared after that.
No.
I think the role he most cared, or one of the roles he really cared for most, was on Moonlighting.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Doing comedy.
Yeah, the thing he actually loved the most.
Yeah. Comedy.
No more of that.
Comedy and blues. Yeah. Weird.
He was in a comedy movie with Kevin Smith.
Oh, God.
That didn't go well.
Have you ever heard Smith talk about that? Yeah.
I have. That's why I brought it up.
Oof.
Oof, indeed.
Oh, cop out. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock as Malkador.
But that was like the height of sexy Sandra Bullock as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Oh my god, that's a weird idea.
Just to be weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else?
Sexy Malkador.
Who else could we have? 1995. Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he's just like an imperial an imperial commander.
Okay.
Basically, he's just Guile. I'm going to kick Horus's ass so hard that the next Horus wannabe is gonna feel it.
Who's the I can't remember his name. Logar's second in command kind of dude.
Oh,
the asshole no one likes.
Yeah, it needs to be spaced at the earliest opportunity.
Yeah. What's his name? I can't remember.
Oh God, it's gone out of my head. Everyone at home is now screaming at us.
I know, because he's so popular.
Yeah.
Horus took his skin at the end of one of the books because he's like, "No, you're being an asshole here."
Oh, God, damn it! No, it's.
Do you know who you get to play that guy? Even though we can't remember his name.
Yeah, go for it.
Gilbert Godfrey. As he talks about having to set up the lodges, and how the Chaos Gods are great.
Let me tell you about the Chaos Gods.
That's not annoying enough. It's not as like grating. No one could be as grating. He has a wonderful voice.
I love him reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Same, it's great.
My God, it's ironic.
He should have gotten to porn way earlier in his career.
Erebus!
Erebus. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Thank you.
Fucking hell, that took some brain work.
Yeah, Gilbert Godfrey is Erebus. There we go.
Let me tell you about the snake cult.
I'm really bad at like remembering celebrities because I'm not a big celebrity guy, so I can't actually think of anybody else, especially of 1995.
Robert England has reboot Gilliman.
Oh, would Lawrence Fishburne was around at that point, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Would he be a good
Salamander.
Vulcan?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a
You
really...
were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because he's got that real, just buttery voice.
Yeah, I was thinking either him and then like maybe Tony Todd, and I'm like, no, I think Lawrence Fishburne would be better.
Tony Todd's going to be too...
you know who Tony Todd could be?
Yeah?
At least the voice. I think the voice would work for him. Nighthaunt.
Actually, yeah, that would be very good. Tony Todd as
Yeah.
the Night Haunter, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would work. He's got a rich voice, and he like, I'm thinking of the voice he does for the guy from Final Destination. You know how he does that acting?
Yeah.
Like he could do that. That's just Night Haunter.
Death will come for you.
Exactly.
Oh, actually, right, I've got one for you.
Okay.
As a alternate to the Night Haunter, right?
Oh?
Thingy, Robert, he from Wishmaster.
Oh, God, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the demon from Wishmaster, the djinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work as well.
She became
Actually,
quite
no,
hysterical.
do you think if he did an angrier voice, he would be good as an Angron?
Actually, yeah, that's a really good... Yeah, I like that as Angron.
Yeah. Because it's got that low menacingness to it that's on the edge all the time.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware that could probably take up the next hour, so I'm going to draw this to a close. You guys out there...
I think that was quite good.
Yeah, I really like this. You guys out there, if you could cast a mid-90s Warhammer 40k movie, doesn't have to be the Horus Heresy, could be anything, who would you cast? That's my question to you guys. Give us answers below, because...
Can I set a challenge for them as well, if they're an artist, if they're a drawer? If you're a drawer and you want to draw something, how about you draw the people that we've mentioned, or anyone that you've got in the armor of the characters?
Yeah, absolutely.
To draw Tony Todd up in Night Haunter's armor. That'd be quite fun.
Somebody draw me Arnold Schwarzenegger as Horus, because I'm in love with this idea.
That'd be great.
I will.
Sandra Bullock as Malcolm of the Searchlight.
Yeah. With beard, yeah. I think we're on to the last question now for this bizarre Walk It In Christmas special. Stuart Murray
I know him.
asks, Jingle All the Way gets an AOS adaptation. Who plays who, apart from Jake Lloyd? He carries over, but still as a kid.
Oh, God.
Jingle All the Way gets an AOS adaptation. So what we have then is a guy in the cities of Sigma trying to sell mattresses to people all around the realm.
Why is it Cities of Sigma?
Well, it's human, isn't it? It has to be an urban thing because he's running around in an urbanite setting.
Oh, I thought we could like change them. So because I was going to say Skaven.
Okay,
then, like,
right.
Skaven Dad is after like the newest the newest Warpstone dust for his son.
He got tutu! He got tutu!
Can you imagine like all those Skaven fighting each other for one thing that's not really very important?
Absolutely.
I think it works.
Yeah.
I also want to see a Skaven Christmas.
It's a very merry Skaven Christmas. Not a creature was stirring except for the rats.
How would they do Santa? Would Santa give out things, or would they have to steal things from Santa, or the Skaven equivalent of Santa?
No, it's the Great Horned Rat comes and kicks your door in and nicks everything you've got.
You gotta keep your cheese safe, squeak from the Horned Rat, or he'll take it.
It's where you're going to keep the chimney fire burning to stop him from coming down. It's not even the Great Horned Rat, it's just a grey seer wandering around with a Horned Rat hat.
Oh, he totally travel in a doom wheel pulled by the brood horrors.
Yeah. Hark, do you hear the Great Horned Rat? I don't hear him, Daddy. Oh, that's awesome. That's absolutely
The brood hover would have a warpstone nose as well, which is how it would glow. And shoot warp lightning from it. Because, of course, that's how Skaven things work.
Absolutely.
And, of course, there wouldn't be one Santa. This works as your Gracia thing because previous ones will have blown up in the past.
Yeah.
Or, like, been run off cliffs so the brood horrors turn on each other and eat everything.
Hang on a second.
This sounds like a short story you need to write.
It really does. God damn. I've been wanting to write one about Santa trying to deliver Christmas presents to Innsmouth for the last couple of days. I've just been able to... I've been able to get to it. You know Ripper and Terror and Grinder and Gnasher and brain has gone blank. I can't think of other ones.
You could call one Tooth.
Tooth.
T-O-O-F.
But do you recall the most famous rat ogre of all? Rudon, the red shiny rat ogre, has a very warpy nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. And all the other rat ogres used to laugh and call him names. They never let this poor monster join in any rat ogre games. Then one foggy Skaven eve, the great horned rat came to say, "Oh, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my doom wheel tonight?" And he said no and ate him.
Guy Doomwheel, yes, now.
Guide Doomwheel, yes, now.
This could work. I think you've got the bones of a story to work from here.
I'll do what I can this evening. But anyhow, right, so AOS adaptation of the Age of Sigmar. AOS adaptation of Jungle All the Way. So, Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to play a orc, right? An Orc. And he lives up a mountain, and he's got all of his other clans, and he has to get the best weapons for the clans. And down in the valley, there is a dwarven stronghold, which makes the best weapons, the very, very best swords and axes and things like that. And so he and another Orc, who is a bone splitter, who has been wandering around trying to trade with everybody else to get weapons for his tribe, end up in a massive calamity farce in order to try and get these weapons from the dwarves, who keep locking everything up and shooting at them with cannons.
Was the Bone Splitter a failed shaman as well?
Yep, that'll do. Yep. Yeah, that works for me.
There you go. There's a reference for Sinbad. He was in a genie movie, wasn't he?
Apparently so, yeah.
Or was that Shaq?
Shaq was in one, yes. But, right, this is a very Berenstain Bears type moment. Because nobody's quite sure. So if I do a quick search for Sinbad genie movie,
yeah,
right, what you get is, so it's meant to be Shazam, right? But then
right, yeah,
there's an actual one called the comedy drew from an internet rumor confusing Shazam with a real genie movie titled Kazam, starring Shaq O'Neal. Right?
Okay.
It doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
right.
There is a film starring Shaq O'Neal called Kazam. That exists.
Right.
But there is no film starring Sinbad as a genie called Shazam.
Huh.
Right? It's...
Okay, yeah.
But you could swear it exists, couldn't you?
Yeah, is this one of those things that never happened,
Yeah.
but we feel it did?
It never happened.
How strange.
So, I'm just looking it up now. There is something else to this, and I'm trying to remember it. I'm just trying to find it now. I mean, there's a guy out there who has tried to, he's got a bounty of $3,000 for anybody who can get a copy of this film sent to him.
A bounty.
Yeah. He's,
I must see it.
Sinbad has said that he did make this film, but he was too embarrassed through his actual genie skills to admit ever that he wasn't allowed to show it.
See, that I'm sure I've heard that. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. And he did make a joke in 2017. He filmed some stuff to make it look like it was a real film, but no, it never actually existed.
Weird.
Yeah. Proper Mandela effect stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
It's truly bizarre.
I actually thought you were going to say an actual Manchurian Candidate thing there, and I was like, that's not exactly what I thought.
Oh god, that would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah. From Sinbad.
Sinbad is a Manchurian Candidate.
Oh my god, it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
So yeah, that's all of the questions done, and we're at an hour and a half, so I think that'll do for our little Christmas episode.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, obviously we haven't been able to do much for Christmas, so I thought this would be quite a fun one to do. It's a shame that we didn't get to do the Squig RPG, which I got set up, or play Shadespire, or do the adventure book. But these things are still there for us to do at a later date.
Yeah, exactly.
I just thought it'd be fun to do a random one, as it was just me and thee.
Yeah, I mean, for RPG stuff, I mean, one day in the future, hopefully, we'll be able to do some proper RPG stuff.
Yeah, that's my plan. I've got Soulbound.
It's just time, which is the hardest thing.
Yeah, at the moment, time is not happening.
No.
Yeah, I've got the AOS Soulbound that I would like to run some stuff with. I've got the Talisman RPG on the way, which I would like to do some stuff with. I've got the latest version of Warhammer Fantasy Fantasy Roleplay to do some stuff with, which would be good. James has mentioned to me a couple of times he'd like to try and do a D&D campaign.
Oh, cool.
Which I think would be quite fun to do.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's a lot there. It's just getting everything together is going to be a bit of a rough one.
No, definitely.
Hopefully, well, I'll say hopefully. Maybe sort of some point next year we can start looking at a way of doing it. But we shall see. Basically, I need my work life to settle down a bit, because that would be the first thing to happen. And then give me 3 nights. That would be good. Yeah,
that would be nice.
It's unlikely.
We can only pray.
Yes.
We can only pray it'll happen.
As MC Hammer once said, "Oh yes, we pray. Oh yes, we pray." So, with all that being said, Andy, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW, on Twitch, CCTFW again, and I'm on the Moonbase 2 podcast where me and my buddy Mike talk about Transformery things.
Yay! Transformery things!
Woo!
Hey!
We've got a podcast to do tonight, actually.
Yeah. Are you going to just go, right, I've had enough of this, we're going to talk about stuff that happened in the 80s?
We're going to get you on and do an RPG.
Transformers RPG.
Oh, that's not happening. No, I haven't written anything. I think there's some news, but we'll probably talk nonsense again, as there's not much to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah. I actually don't know what happens in the Transformers world anymore. The last time I looked at WTF, things seem to be very slow.
I mean, it's Christmas time, so yeah. There's very little going on. Hey, Gruff, the Netflix War for Cybertron Earthrise show's coming out on the 30th.
Bumblebee.
Oh, wow, yeah, that sounds really dramatic with all those pauses in there. That's a really good bit of writing and directing right there. Amazing.
Will make a ham sandwich.
Oh, my God. He's going to make it, guys. Oh, my God, that's such gravitas.
It shall have mustard.
Ah, goosebumps. Fucking goosebumps.
What do you say, other Autobot? My name's Hubcap.
You think he's joking here, but if you've seen the Earthrise stuff, it is pretty accurate, unfortunately.
I'm the friendliest Autobot. Come, children.
Jesus. I'm going to have to watch that as well for the show.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry, mate.
I'll be bored, I'm sure. I was last time.
Well, just every time you get bored, just put something else on in the background, so you're still watching it, but it looks like it's been overdubbed by something else. I recommend Are You Being Served?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Or the British Empire.
I love the idea of Bumblebee running into a room. Mr. British. Man. Anyhow, yes. Was that everything? Did you get everything? I've forgotten now.
Yeah, I think I've said everything. What about yourself, Mr. Adam?
You can find me on Twitter at Grufflock, and you can find the Fluffenhammer at Fluffenhammer on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, where we have a group and a page, so you can come and join us for both of those. We also have a Discord. Come and join us for the Discord. Discover things that you didn't need that you needed to know. That wasn't even a sentence, but I'm sticking with it. And of course, we have a YouTube channel, which I am so sorry about. I'm so sorry.
You didn't do it on purpose.
I didn't, but my God, I felt so guilty. I still feel guilty now. I'm so sorry. Right, so with all that being said, we're going to get out of here. Have a great Christmas, everyone, and we will see you next year. I hope that your Christmas day I know, it's a rough one this year, but I hope your day is an enjoyable one, and I hope that Santa brings you everything that you always wanted, up to and including a small experimental universe and unreasonable things with legs.
Yay!
Bye!